Yeah, so back in March, it was my father's mother, my grandmother, my abuela. It was her 90th birthday party, and everybody came from all over the country to surprise her up in Connecticut. We rented a house, and my dad was bringing her over by the house, just said he wanted her to take a look at the house and brings her in through the backyard. And we're all standing in the living room, wearing t-shirts with a picture of her wearing a crown saying that the queen is 90. And she walked in and immediately burst into tears. Everybody kind of went up, two by two, giving her hugs and kisses, taking pictures. And during this whole thing, after we get done and she gets settled and she's sitting down, she calls me over and she says to me, um, thank you for everything, gives me a kiss. And she says, can you do one thing for me? I said, what's that? She goes, will you cut your hair before I die? And I laughed it off. And I'm like, I don't have a real job to cut my hair for. I have no reason to cut my hair. Well, this week, MLB Network called on Tuesday and said that there was an opportunity to do the show on Friday. And I decided, well, I was going to have to clean up my look anyway. I wanted to trim it. So I had a hair appointment for 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And as I was driving home from the game on Thursday night from the Ferry Hawks, I get a phone call from my mother just after midnight, informing me that my grandmother had passed away. She had complications from COVID, had been in the hospital for a few weeks, went home and, as I said, died due to complications. And I immediately went, when I got my haircut, the guy asked me, so how much are we cutting off? And I looked at him and I said, my grandmother wanted to see me with cutting off my hair. So I want to make sure I do that. I'm going to be on MLB Network tonight. And he was like, oh my God, that's, such a touching story. I'm going to take care of you. You gave me a very fresh cut. Shout out to the Art of Hair in Weehawken, New Jersey. I go over to the show and I had seen Lauren Gardner, who I was going to work with if I did the Apple TV game, at the game that night, which was crazy because there was really no reason for her to be here. So it's one of those things that all these coincidences keep adding up. But as I go home, I find out my grandmother passes away, and I wanted to honor her by cutting my hair and having that nice polished look with the suit and tie again back on TV. So, definitely she will be missed. And I know she was looking down, and she's a huge Mets fan. And, a game like today would have been something that she was yelling at the TV about, on both sides of it, like stupid pitch and all the choice words she would have had. But at the same time, all's well that ends well. She turned off the TV and would go to sleep happy with a Mets victory.
That's a great story, Figgy. And, sending our thoughts and prayers to you and your family. What was her name?
Thank you. Margarita.
Margarita, one of many people's favorite drinks as well. So shout out to Margarita. Abuela, right? That's how you say
abuela.
So
we couldn't say abuela, so we said Wella. Wella. Wella is what we used to say when I was a kid. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the timing on that is like scary.
All right. Goosebumps every time I tell the story. And now I wear the hair and everybody's like, oh my God, you look like a totally different person. But it was good to be back on the air. It was also good to be alongside Heyman and do something I love, and at the same time still be able to coach. So it's been a very good 2022 in a lot of ways. And even though I lost my grandmother, I'm so happy that she had a chance before she died to see all the grandchildren and all, the family got together. And, she was so excited about that. And she literally had said, like, she gave this big speech and said, all she has left is now to be reunited with her beloved, my grandfather. And now she is.
Well, this episode sponsored by Kleenex this week. Amazing, but sure, that's a great story. And very nice. And look, it looks good. My mom saw it. She said, Figgy looks very nice. So she approves, and good. So do I. You don't look homeless now. You look like you own a nice 4-family home in New Jersey. So good job.